Hey guys, how's it going? I'm back here with another video, and today this is the last episode of my React course. I'm really excited for this because I've been posting this React course for the past month and a half, and we're finally done with it. I really enjoyed everything, and I'm just glad that we got to this stage. And in this episode, what I'm going to teach you guys is how to deploy the React application that we created, the React project that we created using Firebase. So we created this project over here. If you've been watching it, you know what it is. You can basically log in with an account. You can create a post. Then you can like other people's posts if you want to. And it works perfectly, as you can see. And I taught all of that in the previous 3 episodes. But today, we're just going to go over how to deploy this so that anyone who accesses a specific URL will be able to use the project as well. Before we get into the video, if you could leave a like and subscribe, I would massively appreciate it because this course has been amazing and I'm glad that it's over, but at the same time, I'm glad that I did it. So if you could do that, I'll be very grateful. So let's get into the tutorial. Okay, everyone. So in order to set up Firebase for us to deploy, we go to our Firebase console over here. And inside of our services, which is on the build part over here, you see that there's a bunch of options. We've worked with authentication and Firestore database, but now we're going to work with hosting. When we click on hosting, it should bring us to this page over here, and we're going to click on get started. Then it will ask us to install the Firebase CLI. So basically the CLI is just a command line interface. It's something that is going to allow us to generate stuff related to Firebase directly from our console. So what we have to do is we have to copy this and click add, just like this. And then we're going to basically just go to our code, which is this one over here. This is the code that we wrote. If you want to check out the code, it's all in the description in GitHub. Then we'll open up a new terminal tab, and I'm just going to install the Firebase Tools CLI. So as it is installing, I'm going to look at what are the next steps. So the next thing is signing into our Google account so that we connect it to the Firebase account that is related to where we created our project. So I'm going to wait for it to finish and then I'll be back. Okay, as you can see, it just finished installing it. So we're going to come over here, copy the Firebase login command, and we're just going to paste it over here. It will ask us to log into our Google account, and it's going to ask, do we allow Firebase to collect a CLI and emulator suite usage and error report information? I don't care about that, so I'm just going to put yes. It's going to open up our Google accounts, and then I'm going to choose the account that I logged in to my Firebase project. So this, in my case, is the top one, but it has to be whatever one you use. Then I'm going to click on allow, and then it's going to say Firebase CLI login successful. Okay, then I'm going to come over here, and it says to initiate their project. So I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to run over here the same thing, Firebase init. It's going to say basically, which Firebase features do you want to set up for this directory? Press space to select features, then enter to confirm your choices. So basically what it's saying is, which features do we want to set up with the CLI? So we see there's a bunch of stuff, right? Including stuff that we already set up, such as Firestore and authentication, all that kind of stuff, right? But over here, all we want to configure is our hosting. And the hosting we want to select is the hosting configure files for Firebase hosting and optionally set up for GitHub Action deploys. So here we're going to press space and you'll see that it will select this one and then press return. If you don't press space, it will just give you an error. Then it's going to say, we need to associate this project with like whatever project you have in your Firebase console. So we can either create a new project or just use an existing project, which is what we want. So we're going to select this by just pressing enter, and it's going to ask us which project do we want to use. So in my case, I have a bunch of projects already created in my Firebase account. So the one that I want to select is the one that says React Course because it is the one that we have that we use for the project, as you can see. So I'm going to click on this one and press and enter or return. Okay, so now it says, what do you want to use as your public directory? So basically in a React app, you might know, there is a public folder, right? Which is where all of your assets and all of your like static files exist. I went over this on the first episode, but this is basically where most of our app exists, because not where most of our code exists, but where all of our app exists. So we just have to specify what is the name of this folder. And since it is public, you just have to press enter and it will automatically assume it's public. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you guys can see better. But then it asks configure as a single page app. So with this, we want to say no, because we don't want this to happen. We don't want to redirect all URLs to index.html. So I'm just going to press return or enter again, and it will automatically default to no, because that's just the default. Then it asks for setting up automatic builds and deploys with GitHub. You can do this if you want, so that whenever you like push code into your GitHub repository, it automatically rebuilds your Firebase project. This is really cool, and I will be showing to you in this video, because I feel like it is very useful for you to be able to do this, so that whenever you push code, it will automatically update the changes in your deployment. I feel like everyone wants a project like that. So I'm just going to put Y over here and press enter, and it will default to yes. So now it says file public index.html already exists. It's asking if we want to override it. In our case, we're going to say no. So I can just write N over here, and it will default to no. So it's going to ask us to log into our GitHub account. The reason for this is because of what I mentioned. I want to automate like being able to push code to GitHub and automatically update the real life version of our website. So I'm just going to sign in. Now it's asking me for my authentication code. I'm just going to do all the two-factor authentication stuff, and I'll be back in a second when I'm logged into my GitHub account. Okay, I'm done with authentication. You see there are, now it's asking us if we want to authorize Firebase to act and have access to our account. We're going to click yes, and it's going to say Firebase CLI GitHub login was successful, which is amazing. It's exactly what we wanted. I'm just going to close this right here. I'm going to open up our thing again. So what it's saying now is that for which GitHub repository would you like to set up your GitHub workflow? What this means is that if I go to my GitHub account right now, right? I'm going to go to my GitHub. This is my GitHub. This is where we have our React beginner course code, as you can see over here. So now that I'm here, what it's asking us to do is basically to copy this part of the URL over here and copy it and directly paste it over here so that it knows which repository we want to automate our pushing, right? So it's going to retrieve a bunch of information. It's going to configure everything. It's going to ask, do we want to set up workflow to run a build script before every deploy? So in this case, we want to press enter, which we don't want to run. And it's going to say, set up an automatically deployment to your website live channel when a PR is merged. I'm just going to press enter again. Then it's going to say, what is the name of your GitHub branch associated with your site's live channel? So this basically means that if you have different branches in your GitHub account, which most of you guys might not have because this is a beginner course, then basically just leave it as it is, just press enter. But since mine, as you can see, I have a bunch of branches, and this is because I separated the code of each episode in this course based on the episode, as you can see, right? So I created a branch for each episode, and in my case, episode 17 is the branch which contains the code for the project right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write over here episode 17. But like I said, if all of your code is in main already, which is what usually happens, just press enter and it should be fine. So now it says Firebase initialization complete. So now we're going to go back to our Firebase thing over here, click next, and it's going to ask us to just run Firebase deploy, and it should work if we do that. I'm going to copy and paste it, wait for it to work, and let's see if it will actually deploy. So as you can see, it says deploy complete, and it has a hosting URL for our project. I'm going to click on this and let's see what happens. If I click on it, it's going to open up our project. So as you can see, it actually doesn't display anything because we forgot to build our project. And I just realized as well that in one of the commands, we have to change something. So basically, we don't have our build folder over here, right? The build folder is where the build version of your project exists. And in React, you can easily create a build version of it by just running npm run build, just like this. It's going to build that folder for you. It's going to create an optimized production build, as you can see. And because it's already doing it, but the thing is, Firebase won't recognize unless you have that optimized build version. And the problem is that when we created the Firebase init, we didn't specify that the name of the folder would be build, we actually said it would be public because that's by default. But I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna run Firebase init again. Then I'm gonna go to hosting. I'm gonna select it by pressing space and then enter. And then it's gonna ask us, what do you want your public directory to be? Instead of saying public over here, say build, just like this. Then press enter, and then press enter to everything else. And it will say Firebase initialization complete. So all we did now is we just run npm run build to create the folder. And then we ran Firebase init again so that we could change the name of our public folder to build. Now, if I run Firebase deploy, just like this, it will start deploying our project again, and we can see if it's working. And now we have this URL over here, and you might ask yourself, okay, is this working? Well, let's see if it is. I'm gonna click on this, and yeah, it is working. It's a little bit different because I had zoomed in. I'm gonna zoom in again. Then we're gonna click on login, try to do the whole process we had before, see if it's working. Let me try to sign in with Google. Now I'm gonna choose my account. I'm gonna choose this one. And you can see that, first of all, our data is already here because it all exists inside of Firebase. So it's all deployed already. We can do everything we did before using a real life app. If you actually go to this URL right now, you'll see all of this as well, which is amazing. You can log in, you can create your own account, whatever, use the same project as I did, and it will work. Meaning that our Firebase deployment has been successful. So yeah, that's basically it. This is really simple to deploy in my opinion. I think this video is really quick. If you run into any errors, leave a comment down below or just follow step by step. I don't know if I went too quick or too slow, but you can slow down or go quicker if you want to. It's just a sequence of steps. You don't have to understand a lot of what you're doing when deploying because it's just deploying. You're just following a documentation. You know what I mean? So in this case, I don't think it should be that worries. I don't think you should be worrying that much about errors, because if they happen, it's probably just a mistake on the step, and you can just watch it again to see what mistake you did or comment in the comments down below. So yeah, that's basically it. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching this whole course if you did. Thank you so much for just watching this episode if you did as well. I really enjoyed this course and I'm really glad that it's over. I'm really excited to just post more and more videos for you guys. I love React. You guys know that. I obsess over React, and teaching beginners is amazing because it helps me. Like I know how hard it is to learn React. So be able to help people who are in the same position as I was is just amazing, and I'm glad that I was able to do this course. So yeah, that's basically it. Really hope you guys enjoyed it, and I see you guys next time.